Grant, what's going to happen in this week's race? Small A grade.
Small A grade, which sometimes means a working A grade. After last week, I'd say they'll be hungry for a win. And if you look through the field, there's probably three guys that can win, and that's Ollie Penny, Tom Bolton, and I'm biased towards the last one, and that's Jack Bennett.
Jack Bennett coming over the top. Photo finish. Bennett gets it. Tom Bolton, Ollie Penny.
And after that massive introduction, we welcome you to round 3 of the Heffron 2024 Pointscore series. With us again this evening, we have the pleasure of Mr. John Sunde, a man whose stopwatch works at a very different time to everyone else. Good evening, John. And of course, a man who is perhaps has the same winning pedigree as Tadej Pogacar at the moment, Mr. Paul Craft. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, everywhere in Sydney. Good evening, Paul.
Yeah, I got an odd one at heart, eh?
Absolutely. He's got one at Hart, he's got one at Penrith. It just shows that wherever you're racing, Paul, I fear for the opposition who are riding against you. But with that, and not to give you too much credit, we'll go straight into the Tuesday night, round 3. Plenty of controversy, perhaps from the rollout. And what is more interesting is the controversy isn't from the riders themselves, but rather the officials standing on the sidelines and deciding when and where rollers roll out. Paul, perhaps you can start with your breakdown of what occurred on Tuesday night.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no drama. Straight away that the B grade is rolled out. Perfect, of course, you can't change that. The C grade is rolled out at 32 seconds. I believe that was pretty much the right distance, and it gave C grade a really good chance with B grade. I was expecting A grade to roll out when they got to the hairpin. Mr. John Eddie O'B Sunde sees him come over the pimple and goes, "Are you ready, A grade?" I'm looking at John going, "What? Hang on. A grade, click.
It gave them 10 seconds.
Mate, yeah, listen, they came over that pimple. You go, you're ready, and they start clicking, and you go, off you go. And my guess is, John Sunde, you paid for nothing that night at the pub. My guess is that the winnings of A grade, which you hang out and buy the beers with, I betcha they got gifted something special.
I didn't even get a chicken pouch out of it.
Bull, mate, yeah. John, I bet you didn't buy a beer. Hey, I forgot to say last week on the podcast that John Sunde, congratulations. You are voted one of the top 50 most influential people in cycling. I didn't realize you were that influential. Now you've gone up. You've gone from, 28 to 24 because, man, did you influence the winners of the race? You gifted it.
No, not.
Have I been harsh enough?
A little bit out of order. 13 A graders on the start list on Tuesday night. We got a few missing.
Small field.
National titles are on. A couple of the guys are getting ready for Tour of Taiwan. And as we all know, out of 13, how many are really going to be pulling turns? Most probably 6 or 7. So, yeah, there was most probably 15 to 20 second leeway in the way we started. A grade never got anywhere near the race the previous week, so it was just trying to give them a reasonable chance to get up. But what surprised me, in fact, despite the small number, and as we know, a smaller number sometimes makes it a much faster, smoother, more cohesive bunch, they rode really, really well and made a big impact in the opening laps on the race.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
thought Chris Ling seemed to do an amazing amount of work on Tuesday night. He was constantly at the front.
And still managed to get himself a top 5.
He got 4th. Chris Ling, not noted as a good sprinter, but I know when he leads out, very few people can get around him. It's one of those weird ones. He is so strong. Look, A grade did ride really well. They used the wind to their advantage. They didn't gutter it until they were 100% that they were going to get up. When they did get up with 3 laps to go, they I think they caught Benny Coates going into the Squircle as such at 3 to go. Then they started attacking it and driving it in the gutter. So it was a really exciting finish. Alexis, I feel that B grade rode exceptionally well. I feel that B grade were potentially a winner of the night had it been a little bit different. C grade, on the other hand, no. They were putting it in the gutter on lap 1.
So what do you think B grade needed then to win the race? John or Paul? I'm happy to take thoughts on either of that. Because they've probably been hardly done by the last 2 or 3 weeks where you thought, wow, they've ridden really well. I mean, I'm looking at last week's race where I think they averaged over 44. Didn't get the win.
I feel they needed an
week,
extra 25 seconds. That I know it's 3 laps. They got caught with 3 to go, but 25 seconds. Now, my belief, from the top of the pimple to the hairpin, I reckon it's over 30 seconds, that distance. I could be wrong. It's hard to quantify. Why only 25 seconds? When a bunch starts believing that they can win it, when they look where A grade are, then everybody gets a little bit more motivated. When a bunch feels that they're going to get caught no matter what, and B grade knew that coming into the closing laps, about 5 to go, they would have seen it. People start going, I'm protecting myself when A grade come through. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I hear that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
John, your thoughts then?
What
could B grade have done?
Well, I had a bit of feedback from Robbie Allen this morning, and he's been performing really well in B grade. I'd say he'd be one of the motivators in the grade. His view was that there's too many different agendas in B grade, and I think I most probably hear that you've got little sort of cliques of different club members, hydroplay guys going racing together. Obviously, you got Centennial Park.
John, I'm going to use that as an opportunity to jump in. I love what you say, but please tell me which grade doesn't have too many fractions? Which grade is just this perfect cohesion? It ain't C grade, and it definitely ain't A grade. Now, why do I say? Every time those ZCC guys get off the bike, they're saying, "Oh, everyone's pulling turns." Brad Mills has never got a nice word to say about the bunch. He says, "Yeah, the 4 guys pulling turns, right?" And John, you had 13 riders. If 13 riders pull, so you can't say the problem with B grade is too many fractions. There are too many. It is every grade.
It expands.
So that evens it out, yeah?
Yeah, true. But there's most probably less of that going on in A grade, a bit more of it going on in B grade, and then C grade, because it's always such a diverse range of abilities, that's where you get the big difference in C grade. But yeah, there are definitely some different agendas. And then, I'll go back to Benny Coates' race tactics. Clearly one of the stronger riders in the B grade bunch at the moment, but using all his bickies at the wrong time for the wrong outcome.
Is he costing B grade the victory?
No, but it minimises or takes away the input. If you get 10 guys going down the straight rolling perfectly at a nice smooth pace, very different to one guy goes off the front 3 to go and says, I'm going to have a go here. Everyone else sits up and thinks, oh, yeah, here we go again. I'm not doing anything.
Great insight, John. However, I respectfully disagree. Benny had an agenda. He decided that he was going to leave it late this week, and there was a big bunch. Had he got away before A grade got and B grade gone, hey, oh, we're going to get caught by A grade. Let's save some bickies. And he kept on moving further in front at that point in time. A grade get up there. They're not all the brightest cyclists in the world. They may not have seen that. They think they've got everybody. And it was the only hope that a B grader could have won the day. Now, having said that, we did have a B grader really roll the dice. We're going to talk about that hopefully later on.
Well, let's talk about it now.
And they
because I
have
think
shot
that's
it.
part
Actually,
of the race.
just before we do that, I could give you kind of a maybe an idea that seems to kind of, and I'd like to know whether or not it works, whether or not it could. Looking back at the results the last couple of weeks, we've basically got the same 5 or 6 in B grade who are constantly the top 5 or 6. So Tuesday night we had Chris Simpson got his maiden victory, so he came in 6th overall.
Wasn't it Ben Glastonbury?
No,
No.
Simpson.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Chris
I get them
Simpson, that's right.
confused all the time.
Yeah, no, wouldn't be the only one. Chris Simpson, Ben Coates, Rolando, they were the top 3. Then we had Robbie Allen, Tom Hyde, John Papard. That's 6 pretty strong guys. I wonder if those 6 launched almost as a unit with that 2 or 3 to go, they would have the legs to stay away rather than just one Ben Coates going solo.
What you're saying is, and Alexis, I hope I can put it in a perspective. What a perfect little storm you created there, and it would work.
We'll then go forward and go, how did the night play out? John, what happened in C grade?
Wow. The Colombian connection were determined to make everybody suffer. And if you want to get C grade rolling, boys, don't put it in the right-hand gutter in the first 3 laps, because that's not going to motivate anybody. And I think C grade most probably lost a bit of momentum there. But for the rest of the race, I thought they were rolling well. And clearly, I noticed that most of the riders in C grade, bar a couple of that seem to like to hide down the back, they all want to get in. They're all very comfortable now with the course, and I was very impressed with the way the grade rode generally.
I thought that was your opportunity. That was John's opportunity to tell you how he was almost could have been in the winning break with a few laps to go.
Wow, there's that too. Yes.
When he went down the straight with myself on his wheel, we opened a small gap, and I said to him, John, let's go.
You know what my reply was? It's okay, Alexi. I'm good, thanks.
And like a stake in Dracula's heart, he just left me there dangling. And I just thought that was a man who didn't want glory. He just wanted to step away. Paul?
I think Julian putting it in the gutter really was detrimental. I love it in a scratch race where you're actually trying to hurt people and create gaps. What it did, especially from lap 1, it put some of the C graders going, oh my God, this is hard along the straight. If I do a turn now, will I be able to get along this straight again when it's in the gutter? And it really did stop the encouragement of people pulling turns. But from what I understand, he was on most of the turns himself anyway.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I don't know if it was so much the work, because we praised him for the previous week for doing that. I think I found it more frustrating, more the people who were riding in 4th, 5th and 6th position throughout the entire race, just constantly almost blocking and protecting their position. And so what it ends up is the same 3 or 4 riders sitting on the front the whole time. And look, I actually for once felt like I was actually frustrated and actually ended up attacking off the front there. But it was more because you just can't have the same 3 people there doing everyone else. You've got to roll through. Now, I'll admit I was probably in the wrong there because, first of all, I didn't have the legs to stay off more than the 1 lap. But at the same time, I should have actually just been more vocal and encouraged more people to be rolling turns. So I will fall on my sword.
I did notice when you made your move that it was in an obvious spot in front of the photographers.
Well, you've got to time these things.
In a normal race, a normal scratch race, look, sitting 4th wheel is a good position to be. It's fantastic. You don't have to pull turns in a normal race. If you're pulling a turn, there's a reason why. You're either chasing someone down or you're trying to hurt people. In a freaking handicap, if you're sitting 4th or 5th wheel and sitting there and not rolling through, seriously, piss off to the back. Why? Why are you being actually stopping the forward movement? It's a handicap. I don't mind people in a handicap sitting on, but not in the prime position all the forward and stopping that forward movement. Now, it sounds like I'm being rude to those people, but it's basically a fundamental. Essentially, what you are doing is driving in the right-hand lane on the M1 at 90 kilometres an hour.
When we move then to the B grade race and kind of keeping it moving tonight for my editing suite, I thought they raced really well. And you guys have now got to tell me about, we had a rider on the night who, some illustrious rider that I know we interviewed post-race.
Yeah, so James Langdyke was one of the in the Teams Pursuit squad at the track, probably circa 2006, 2007.
Scotty Law's type, wasn't
Yeah, maybe a little 8, 9, 10, around that zone. Look, the guy knows how to pursue. The guy knows how to hurt himself. He's moved on from that. His life has changed. He's recently moved so he's Victorian. He's moved to the Illawarra region, and now he's sort of dabbling back into the sport.
Was that, I know you don't know any of the riders. Yeah, they're all new to you, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And it was a good fun race. I've been trying to come up here for a few months now, and everything, the weather and work and all that sort of gets in the way. So it's good fun to come out and get a race.
Help me out. You had a white number on. Were you in B grade or were you in A grade? Because there's people saying different things to me. Help me out.
Yeah, so I was B grade. I think as far as I'm aware, the rules only allowed me to ride B grade for the first race, and hopefully A grade from now on.
Well, you want to be A grade, and you certainly proved it today. So you kept some powder dry. Was it Tommy Gray that went first, your compatriot, and you latched on the wheel?
Yeah, I pretty much saw him attack on the left side up this windy back straight, and I just thought I'd jump on, give it a crack, see what's going on. I don't think I had too much powder left, but yeah.
Well, look, many people don't know James Langdyke, the name, but certainly you're a Victorian, and certainly have been at the highest echelon of track racing in Australia.
Yeah, it's a long time ago now, and it's good fun just to stay fit and do some races like this.
He really rode smart. He knew that A grade were getting up, and when they A graders, he knows how to play the game, and he landed up on Tom Gray's wheel, John.
Oh yeah, at the bell. So Tommy Gray is not the sort of biggest guy on a bike in A grade, but my God, does he pack some punch and power when he wants to? He's gone for this enormous, everything into the effort down the straight on the bell. And who's on his wheelcraft? He's calling it and saying, "Who's that rider? There's a B grade rider. Who's that B grade rider?" And of course, it was James Langdyke. He knew what was going on, and took the opportunity. I don't think the move was ever going to last, but the great thing, it was a gutsy move, and that's what you get. You get those sorts of moves when it's kind of together in that last 3 or 2 laps, and that was good to see.
They were getting caught as they came to the bell. Their gap was diminishing, but then the A grade bunch, the A grade led bunch, stalled, and the look on Jack Bennett's face was, "No, don't let these two guys get away." Now, remember, Scott Law's era is Jack Bennett's era in track racing. He knows who James Langdyke is. He certainly knows who Tom Gray is. The look on Nugget's face was, no, we've got to go. And it fattened up. You know what I mean? It fattened up at the front of A grade. Those two rode away even further. If that stayed stalled for another 10 seconds, you may have been surprised how far they would have got. They could have possibly held up, but it didn't. As they went up towards the circle, I got a sneaky look, and the line was straight line in the bunch. They were chasing them.
They certainly were, and there was no way they were going to get away. And like you said, there's Nugget knew what was going on. He wasn't going to let it unfold. He wanted that win, and he wanted it desperately. And let's just go to that win. I got to say, that was one of the most impressive sprints, watching Ollie's video, which I hope we can play. The way, I think it was Cam Fraser and Tommy Bolton got the jump on Jack about 600 to go in the straight, and he was gone, I thought, for all money. But the way he fought back, firstly on the canvas wheel, and he only got Tommy. What would you say, Crafty, in the last 10 meters?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a photo, and it was desperately close. It was really close, but the riders see it at almost 0 kilometers an hour. We see it at the speed they're going. And Bennett, he crossed the line. He knew it was close. I think I saw a still photo of it. It was freaking close.
Yeah.
It was so close. What surprised me, I expected the sprint to be in the right-hand gutter. It actually split coming out of the right-hander. It was the sprint started in the right-hand
jumped
gutter.
to the left. Yeah, he jumped over to the left.
Jumped to the left. Now, I think he was thinking, I'm going to get free air. They're all going on this side. I'm just gassing here, and they'll be watching me. But somehow Bolton went that side as well, and then went in the center of the road. Bennett had to go on the windward side. So, look, fair play. Really impressed with Tom Bolton. Welcome back, mate. We missed you. And I think he's just going to continue to get a little bit faster.
Yeah, there's a win coming in the next 3 weeks.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out if John Sunde's got anything to do with the handicap. Hey, it'll be next week, the week after that. Is that right?
Free to go.
C grade, when you guys got caught with 11 and a half laps to go, you all knew.
No, I disagree. I didn't think that.
Yeah. You knew it didn't matter what you did. You're going to get caught.
Yeah, I will probably work. I was more, to be honest, I thought mid-race when B grade, I thought they were actually going to get up with about 5 or 6 to go. I think there was a period where we were exiting the squircle. They were coming in, and I couldn't quite see A grade on at that stage. I thought, this could actually be a B grade victory. So yeah, I didn't. It wasn't until A grade, because B grade caught us then with about 4 to go maybe, and they got a little bit stuck.
Right. Yeah, it was
I think moving through. Ben Glastonbury came through first.
Well, just a quick note on that. They came through C grade on the U-turn in the squircle. Worst place to pass.
Hey, look, points wise, also Jack. Yeah, we're going up to the point score by the looks of it.
Oh, yeah. No, these are actually the results.
So A grade, I think all those riders, all the whole list, I got to see. I saw every one of them at the front at one point in time or near the front, okay? Every one of the A graders, very impressed. Also, Andrew Herman, welcome back, bro. Haven't seen that guy in an A grade bunch actually, I haven't seen him for ages. So
Herbie's been around. He was there last week. He's been racing in the odd Sunday down at Waratah, down at Southern Cross. So,
okay, well, excuse me for not recognising everybody. Apologies. The B grade.
Marty Caper in A. Sorry to interrupt. I thought rode really well for 7th. Yeah, Lucas Stevenson continued to improve in 6th, and Cam Fraser. That was his strongest race to date this season when he got 5th.
Well, considering the effort he made in the last in the finale, hitting out from the corner.
B grade.
B grade. Look, Benny Coates launched it and still gets second in the sprint. We go down to, like Tom Hyde. He was hoping he wouldn't get 4th this week again. Congratulations, Tom. You didn't get 4th.
Well, I tell you who did get 4th just on that. It was a photo finish between Rolando and Robbie Allen. Oh, no, it was Ben Coates.
No, it was Ben Coates and Robbie Allen, which once we've gone through these names, we'll bring up the point score, because that could have actually been a monumental moment for the point score series overall. But other than that, looking through, that's a pretty 18 finishes of 21.
Yeah, it was good.
They're great.
Yeah, and Langdyke in 11th was a great finish. Rolando finishing, he hasn't of late, so that's been great. Nicole Lowe up there, she carried the momentum of grade when they caught the C graders and kept her position, and thus was the first female home. So congratulations, Nicole, as well. Luke finishing up there. Percy's always having a go, and Rowan Drummond's loving it. In the C graders, Ben Dewhurst does it again.
Hey, congrats, Benny. Cemented your lead at the top of the leaderboard in the C grade, but I also wanted to shout out to Jason Morgan, Just softly, quietly. You don't see much of Morgs in the bunch, but there he is, second on the night. His best result in a long time.
It's fair play. He's a solid rider as well. He pulls big turns when he does, and he's a good sit, great sit, and a top bloke as well. And we love Shimano. G'day, Matt Bezzano and co. Morgs works at Shimano. Loves his mountain biking too. So really.
So what's our leaderboard look like?
What are we thinking? So let's start with the women, Nicole O and Nicole Wilson. O Wilson is that'll be close.
There's a little bit to unfold there. Lily missed out on points on Tuesday, but that doesn't mean to say she's not going to pick up some points in the remaining three. Ben Dewhurst is certainly in a strong position in C grade. But maybe Morgs could push for more points in the remaining 3 weeks. I thought Christian Quintero might have been up for some points on Tuesday, but I think he spent too many Vickies in the early part of the race.
I must admit, he is a strange rider in the sense that he went out the back in the Spurge Memorial. He gets up there on the podium last week, and then this week, again was he's just a bit up and down. That's an interesting one. I think Benny Dewhurst, though, he's clearly, I'd say that, not going to say the strongest, but he's certainly the smartest.
He's riding really, really well. Obviously, listen to his father Neil.
B grade.
Well, good win for Chris Simpson. We've got a few guys. Riad and Jackson have now moved to A grade. Kai's been away at national titles. Benny getting some points on Tuesday. Robbie picked up some points last week.
That is wide open, that grade.
Yeah, it certainly is. But 3 to go.
Because there's no reason Rollo couldn't get a victory overall.
He gets 6 points in the next 2 weeks and jump in front quite easily.
Yep. A grade. Is it Bennett's now to lose?
Jack's got the jump there, definitely. And of course, now he's also just looking above that leading series.
Yeah, he's got the 5 points.
5 points. And, the remaining 3 weeks, I'm assuming Kurt and the other guys can be back next week. Jack's only got a marking. He's got some points up his sleeve there. So, biggest threat most probably coming from Tom Bolton and Ollie Penny. In the overall league.
Surprise opinion.
Nice photo of the jersey wearers on the start line on Tuesday night, and thanks again to Sydney City Skoda and of course Champsis for making the jerseys. I thought they looked great.
And who took that photo?
I think Richard took that photo.
Okay, Can I go with Richard Scrivens? Thank you very much. Hey, can I go with my opinion on the point score? In the women's, this is going to go all the way because the C graders do start with an advantage, and I think Nicole Wilson can do something special. Nicole O is going to be nervous starting every race. In the C graders, I think Benny Dewhurst, if he's allowed to stay in C grade to conclude it, I think he will focus on winning that jersey, and I feel he can do that. In B grade, you go down that list, the winner is unfindable at the moment. They may not even be on that list at the moment. We can't pick that. The 2 riders that, if I was to favour 2 riders, Benny Coates, if he focuses on it, can do it. And the other is Robbie Allen. The hassle is, if you focus on that, you're putting in a little dagger into the side of potentially winning the whole night with your grade. And look, that's what Tuesday's about, is having all these different scenarios come in. A grade, Jack Bennett, will wrap up the other. He will defend that. Every time anyone else, Tom Bolton may score points over him, but Jack will score minor points. In Jack's interview at the post-race, he said, I prefer to defend the lead than chase the lead.
And you're pretty darn happy you've got the jersey, the series leader now. You've got to defend it, and it's not many weeks to go.
Yeah, the defence is a little bit easier, but there's a lot of good bike riders that come down here that'll happily take it off me. So we'll figure it out as the weeks go on, but there's only 3 to go.
Let it come.
Such great racing in the last 3 weeks for B grade, because, like you said,
I agree that, but I think the if there were three favourites, Rolando Delatz, even though he's 1 point, we know what he's capable of. Robbie Allen has already proven. Benny Coates, he can do well. He can sprint. We saw that. He gets second, and he didn't. He did a lot of work in their last part. Will burn a lot of cookies. Hey, that's the point series. What else?
Well, before we move to the Chuckle Jar, let's go. So you have to pick one B grader. John, one B grader who's going to win the point score series.
Oh, that's an easy pick. I'm going for Benny Coates. I'm going
Paul?
for you.
Yeah, freaking John, you stole my pick. I think
Go first.
No, I think it's Benny Coates. But it does depend. Like freaking, if he goes for the grade win, it means he can't launch all out attacks. So, I don't want him to stop doing that. So yeah.
I will disagree, and I'm going to go Robbie Allen.
Yeah, fair call. Great call. Okay.
So that moves us, of course, to the big announcement, who perhaps, instead of wanting to go for the point score series, are instead going to go for Char Grill Charlie dollars and for our riders of the week.
Go for it.
First?
Well, I'll go Paul. Well, John, you got to go first on who was the B grader to win. So I'll go to Paul. Paul, thoughts
Tommy Gray.
on riders?
I thought Tommy Gray. Everybody knows Tom was going to try and launch an attack, and yet he still managed to get it out. So he I know James Lane Dyke rode out of his skin, but far out. We're not going to give a Charlie's chicken to a first-time rider.
No.
So yeah, Tommy
Gray, good pick.
Yeah.
I must admit,
Nice pick.
That's not at all. Yeah, okay. Must admit, even when you said the name Tommy Gray, I was like, who are you talking
I saw your face, and I'm going, far out. You're not invited to any of my parties or
Northern Sydney are going to be thinking, man, this guy's got no idea.
Oh, right. Okay. So, Alexis, if you actually got to see the race, Tommy Gray's position in the field is amazing in A grade. John, you know it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks.
And look, and he said it with such confidence. There we go.
Great content.
My rider of the week pick.
Okay, you've got to let it out. Who is it then, John? Who is your rider of the week?
So I've been pondering this for the last couple of days since we had Tuesday.
Who has paid you to give you?
Well, that's the thing. No one's paid me. No one bought me dinner. No one bought me a beer. No one's let me out. No, nothing.
Mate,
nothing.
They carried you in on their shoulders into the pub. They went, here's to John.
I haven't even got a free pair of socks. That's how tough times.
You sound like you're at call. That never happened. I don't remember that happening.
My rider of the week is Nicole. I watched Nicole race on Tuesday night when B grade came through C grade with about 4 to go, and I was just impressed with the way she's sitting on the wheel. I was impressed with the way she finished, and like you said, Crafty, it's a much tougher race for her to compete for that women's prize because she's disadvantaged with a strong, a harder start, and she's been chipping away quietly, and it was a tough night's racing on Tuesday night, but she was right there. She wasn't in the front group across the line, and I think she got a little bit of help from the teammate Shun Sugamara, which is good. It's good to see them coming together. But Nicolo, my rider of the week.
Alexis, you can pick a totally different rider.
Well, I actually really enjoyed hearing John's synopsis then, but I will say who I originally thought, and then we can kind of converse. I went Chris Simpson, the first B grader across the line, 6th overall, pretty active during the race.
Yeah,
it has been riding very well, but in previous week, obviously we're only taking it on this week, so I thought this week he rode very well, 6th overall, first B grader home. That was my rider of the week. I don't know where that leaves us. Paul, you are the kind of keeper of the fountain of knowledge.
What she did this week has set up this point series to be quite entertaining because, and I also like that John spotted that
she had a club helping teammates from Sydney University. Congratulations. I think they will be vital coming into the last three laps. Three races.
Last 3 laps of the last 3 races, yeah.
Yeah, it will be really important. Now, let's see this battle unfold. Good luck,
that's
Nicole.
right. So Nicole
Ready?
is our rider of the week. Well done, Nicole. With that, we've got last lap. Any other issues?
Enter online.
Enter online. So we've got the 3 weeks to go. So it's wide open in B. So every B grader wants to get their friends down into the race. Every C grader is obviously.
Yeah, I've got next Tuesday a wedding to go to. My niece is getting married on a freaking Tuesday. Okay. And I'm out.
I just think, though, Heffron Park, what a lovely wedding venue.
I reckon so.
Just bring the wedding party down. They can stand on the sidelines having a champagne while the race goes by. Great photos.
Paraslides of the arse end of the world. Hey, Alexis, who's going to jump on the microphone?
We're going to have. I'm going to give up my chance at the point series, and I'll be on the microphone with Vaughan McVilly. So look out there. We have a very high bar to jump on Tuesday night, and listening to your finishing sprint, I was thinking, we're in trouble here, people. We are in trouble.
No, hearing a different voice is so refreshing. People will love it, and they'll be singing. You'll be celebrated more than John Sunde at the pub after a race.
I hope so. I just hope that I'll have to get those little photo files out for all the riders' names. Lockie Carrigan, here he comes, riding past. So it's going to be a very interesting Tuesday night. We hope to see everyone there. Anything else to add, gents?
See you next Tuesday.
I won't see you next Tuesday.
Oh, no, we won't see you next Tuesday.
See everybody else, though.
You'll just be racing somewhere and winning somewhere else in Sydney pre-wedding. So thank you all for joining. And, of course, get your entries in because we'll see you next Tuesday.